Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Crypto Casual. I'm your host, Chuck, your esoteric crypto coach. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to my earlier videos and I explain what esoteric is and all that stuff and why I'm an esoteric crypto coach as well as a crypto or esoteric coach. My programs are electrical theology, soul mechanics, stuff like this, but that's for another channel and whatnot. But I've combined both the esoteric and the, we'll call it, metaphysical world of BTC into helping people gain freedom from the conditional brainwashing, indoctrination, whatever you want to call it, of our societies. Now, I'm not here to claim that they're bad or good indoctrinations. It's just when you're ready to get out, then you'll do what you need to get out. And then when you're ready to get out, the information will be there waiting for you. For every seeker of information, of true information, there'll always be someone presenting the truth, whatever that is for you. All right. For me, BTC, the binary Christ, the second coming for human consciousness 2.0. All right. This is episode 18. It is August 5th today, but I couldn't get the video out yesterday, but it is under the August 4th. So we're looking at the stairway to BTC. All right. This show is basically about the fundamental financial strategies and personal frameworks and how to grow a simple and rich life. I'm just here to keep things casual. My life's not very complicated. If I get too bored, I'll complicate it. But for the most part, I like it simple. And I'm in the process, like a lot of you are right now, getting rid of things or people or places in your life that no longer serve you or that you may be using as a crutch. Excuse me, that you may be using as a crutch to not move forward in your life, and that's okay. We're not going to judge these people. You know, we just honor them and appreciate them. They served their purpose. We served our purpose to them, and now it's time for us to go our way. So everyone's dealing with what they have to deal with, and so that's why I present this station to you, or this channel to you, is to help you get through some of those times, and to have someone out there on your side being able to say, hey, you can do this, and here's some tools to do it. Now that being said, let me skip really quick to this one. I'm just a guy making videos, and I'm not your guru. I'm not here to save you. I'm not here to give you your answers. I can present you with information and framework that will help you ask your own questions. Right? So do your own due diligence, do your own research, take responsibility for your decisions. If they fail, great, grow from them. Right? So we're going to get to these strategies and frameworks, and what that's going to help us do is just understand who you are, or the electrical, what I call the esoteric trinity of consciousness. So it's cryptocurrencies, BTC, and the holistic you. Holistic just means the bigger panoptic you, the big picture you. All right, and we'll do our normal framework here, and this framework, if it works for y'all, let me know. Leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But yeah, we're going to go to an esoteric thought, behavioral framework, and today I have a couple extra screens on the framework that I think those are very important to your wealth. If you don't have self-worth, then how can anything have worth in your life? And worth is wealth. So we'll get to the definition of the day, news, strategy, prices, crypto picks, influencer of the day, and book and movie of the day, and or. So again, take a moment, like, subscribe. All right, we need some subscribers here. I know I'm new, but I know it takes time, but do your best. Help share this content if you like it. If you don't, leave me a comment, let me know. But for the most part, definitely share the wealth here, share the knowledge, that you're learning. If you learn something new, share it with somebody else. All right, we're not here to be know-it-alls. We just help us all out of the enslavement of the Keynesian indoctrinated system. All right, we've already been over that. So let's get on with the esoteric thought of the day, and we're going to touch on what are core values. Now, we touch a little bit about what core value is. Core and heart's the same thing, right? And then the framework of that day is, so I'm sort of, to skip through really going into this, core values is that who you are intrinsically. It's who you are essentially, right? Essentially, we are all good at heart, but along the path we get misguided. We allow ourselves to be misguided because it's not really being misguided. It's just helping us go down a path to gain more knowledge about who we are, our wherewithal, our stamina, our heart, and all that good stuff. You get the point. All right, so we got to know our core values. Why? Because that's what motivates us, right? And if we want to be motivated in our life, and again, motivation is moving energy, right? Motive and ion is just moving energy. So we're moving energy within us if we're stuck and stagnant on old people, places, and things that no longer serve us, right? Our exes, our jobs, our government, what they're trying to force on you or not force on you. If it goes against your core values, then we got to look at that, right? But in order to get motivated to do something to get out of slavery, right, you need to understand freedom is a state of mind. It's not a destination. Make sense? So if you want to get things moving in your life, right, then be inspired, you got to change the state of mind. So if you think you're enslaved, or even if you don't know you are, right? And if you're in the crypto world, you're beginning to understand that you were enslaved financially. The system is stacked against you. It's not here to help you, it's here to take from you. If you don't believe me, look at the value of the dollars that they're putting out. It's losing 30% and inflation's going up. Right? So don't think they're not taking the money from you. They mismanage money, they give it to their good old boys and gals clubs, and then trickle some down to you if you want. Or what they do give you, they're just going to take up to 50% of that. Because they mismanage their money, they want to come after your money. And this is what they've continually done, and this is nothing new. It's not a conspiracy if you just look at the history of finances. And you'll get to the point. But yeah, if you want freedom, freedom is whatever you choose it to be. Right? Freedom is just having a couple extra dollars in your pocket, or gold, silver, or doing what you want, travel where you want. It's all in your state of mind. So if we're anchored down by old past thoughts, then we can't get and move into the future. So again, freedom is, for me, is just inner peace. That's freedom. Right? No one can take it from me. Right? They can do things to the outside of my body, say things to me, but it's my framework inside, my internal representation from my own experiences of what my core values are. So freedom to me is not financial, it's inner peace. And peace, whatever that is for me, is calm, tranquility, excitement, learning new things. This is freedom for me. Right? And so that leads to the self-worth. Self-worth is basically, we talked about, the intrinsic value within. It's what you're willing to give yourself, share with yourself, right? If you're willing to work for yourself, if you're willing to work and better yourself, then you'll have great self-worth. If you want to blame everyone else, you want to try to convince others that you've changed and you've been grounded and all that good stuff, that's great. Those people are trying to convince you of what they've done, so if they've done it, why do they need to share it, right, if you didn't ask for it? So authority. I also put this in there with authenticity because it creates a connection. When you are the authority or the author of your own ship, your own vessel, your own life, your own freedom, then you have connection. You have true connection, not only with the esoteric insightfulness, but you also have to have a deep connection with people. When I have a deep feeling, right, freedom is a deep feeling for me. Right? And so the progress that I continually do to better myself, and again, I'm not perfect. I got things in my life that I'm eliminating, people, places, and things that no longer serve me, or I'm using it as an excuse not to be my full self. So we're all in that same boat. No one gets out of this, and especially now is a great time where everything's sort of still shut down, or we're all having this chance to do our inner work, right? And it's a lifelong thing. You never stop doing your inner work. There's no destination to it. You say, look, I'm done. Here's my final work. No. Your final work is when you die. So for me, progress. I'm always growing, excitement, what I'm doing, and my brain does a lot of things and it gets bored very fast. So I do a lot of different things because it's exciting. I like the excitement of creating something from nothing, and that's why I like Bitcoin. Someone created something from nothing, if you will, and now it has value. So we each can create our own thoughts. We can create something from nothing, our thoughts, and then create those thoughts into being worth something to you. For me, it's freedom. It's not about having billions or millions or anything like this. It's about just being free. And those things will come along because they match your frequency. So if you feel like $1 million, then you're probably going to start attracting those $1 million. But you have to do your due diligence work, put your 1,000, 10,000 hours in, educate yourself again, progress, growth, all that good stuff. And then part of why a lot of us are being sort of shaken out of our shoes or boots, if you will, is because we got complacent. right? We want certainty, right? We want money to be there at every corner. We want people to not. Um, we can't. I don't want to go down that road, but basically, because we can use people as an excuse for our growth or our certainty. But there's nothing certain in life. The only thing certain in life is that you are going to die, right? Some of y'all sooner than others, some of y'all longer than others, but we're all going to unzip from these shells and go out. So why not have the most excitement and do your best to grow, help other people, share your wealth, share your knowledge of what you know, write a book, right? Get up on speaking and start talking to people. Not trying to proselytize them or force them into a belief system, but just sharing your knowledge. When you share your knowledge from the heart, more people will be receptive of that, as opposed to trying to force shots and everything else down you and down your throats and restricting you. This is, again, the old Keynesian economics trying to control you and your wealth. So if they can control your wealth, they can control you, as they say. So for me, uncertainty, right? My life's uncertain. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I can make all the plans in the world, but guess what? They can come out and say, hey, here's this scenario. We'll call them a false flag. And then generate drama behind that, using the media and whatnot, and then try to keep and let them try to convince you that everything's going to be okay. And here, we'll give you some money, right? But what they're doing is controlling the money because they know it can control you. But here, when you do your framework, when you do your inner work, your freedom becomes, for me, again, inner peace, and you have to come up with what that is for you. But certainty is definitely, I live in uncertainty. And for me, that's individuality, right action. I take risks. Going into Bitcoin was a risk when I got in. I did all my due diligence. I did my 10,000 studies of hours since 2014. And when I finally decided to get in, I went into uncertainty. And from that day of uncertainty, it's paid off 1,000, 10,000 fold, and so forth. For those who've been in long enough, you know what I'm talking about. For newbies, you just keep cost averaging in. You don't have to get caught up in all what's going on. You just cost average into your Bitcoin, Ethereum, something like just every little bit from the paycheck. I just put in, and eventually it paid off. And the biggest thing to all this is that you have to have belief in oneself. Right? Being okay, being uncomfortable, or being uncomfortable that we don't know what life has for tomorrow or the next second. Right? Friends, family, loved ones depart all the time. They hop that midnight train to Georgia, and then, we're left uncertain, about what we should do in life. What's our path? What's our passion? Right? We can get into all that another time, but belief in oneself, it's being okay, being uncomfortable, right? It's a willingness to change. It's being open-hearted and vulnerable, right? It's just speaking your truth. Again, whatever that is for you, your inner truth, right? And by speaking your inner truth, you set boundaries, right? And I'm not here to convince anyone of my truth. I am me. My actions are my truth, right? If I seem an a-hole one day, great, that's my truth that day, or that moment, right? If I'm nice, then that's my truth in that moment, but it's me and I'm being authentic and I'm not letting it stop, right? I just express what I am and I say and I state what is. If other people are coming to me and trying to force, proselytize me, then I'm going to ask them questions, right? And I can come off in many different ways, but that's okay. I'm speaking my truth. My truth is not to be believed or have faith in. It's just my perspective, my internal representation of what my life is, right? So when you start doing your work, you'll start really tapping into what your truth is and what you will no longer put up with, right? And that's going to take effort. It means getting out of uncertainty, or getting into uncertainty out of certainty. And it means really tapping into your heart and doing your heart's work, not your mind's work, but your heart's work. So we got to step out and come into the unfolding moments with an undefended heart. All right, so the framework, right, will continue here. One of the best things we can do to see how well you're doing, a metric if you will, is I'm going to compare how I did today, how was I living my freedom, my truth, my authority, my authenticity. Was I living these truths today? And I'm going to go ahead and compare it from the day before, right? And did I do better? Did I do the same? Did I do worse? And again, this is my own definition or explanation, my own value, my own metric, right? And if I'm like, you know what, I could have done more, I could have done this, and then I'm going to work on that. And I'm going to put that into action. And I'm going to get motivated about that because I'm going to work on my core values. What are my core values? Again, the core, it can be integrity, it can be honesty, it can be helpful. Whatever those words are for you, I encourage you to get 3 words that describe you. And then those right now can be your core values. You can always add, take away, whatever. But right now, just find out who you are, and then we're going to create, or you're going to create who you are, right? By taking the right action, the right steps from your core value, from your core heart. And unfold that moment, not allow other people to dictate us what our thoughts are and what we should do with our life, right? So for me, true freedom is felt deep within, right? When you're free and you're making your own decisions and you're speaking your truth, right? I'm not trying to convince anyone else of my truth. I'm just speaking me, right? Because really, we're all just opinionated. No one has any truth to anything other than themselves. There is no external truth. People want to sort of convince you that there is, but everyone's individual. Everyone has a unique internal representation or what they were able to perceive from their own life events and experiences. And that makes us all different because we all experience things differently. Therefore, our thoughts are all different, right? And so, for me, I can only speak my truth, right? And whatever that is for me, and that changes by the moment. The more I better myself, the more I change and study frameworks. My truth keeps changing and growing, right? So, your identity, your thoughts are not affixed, or is not affixed. So, whatever you think you aren't, because thoughts are fleeting. Thoughts are just energy in motion, emotions, and motive and motivation. And so your identity, who you think you are, can change by changing your core values. That making sense? By looking at yourself with worth instead of lack or I'm not good enough. Right? I don't chase security over my freedom. My freedom comes first and foremost because if I'm freed up with my heart, my mind, and my thoughts, then there's no obstacles stopping wealth from being attracted to me. Right? Laws of attraction, that type stuff. But if you have so many filters up and so many angers and so many blames and faults and victimhood and I'm oversensitives and all these type things, I get that we all have these characteristics about us, but they're not a fix. Your thoughts about them, you're making a fix, and you keep living and perpetuating the same existence, right? What you say today is going, and we talked about in the video before, who you are now is who you were, and who you are now is what you're going to be if you don't change it. So I don't chase security. That's, again, we talked about, security is the same as certainty, right? Security is anything and everything, the powers that be, motherships, they can all come down and just rock this earth and then we're back in the dark ages. So really, what is security? Again, that's a relative term to each individual person. But for me, it goes along with freedom. I just open myself to being free thinker, whatever, right? I'm a free thinker. And so I don't chase security, and security normally associated with money. And then the more you hoard your money, the more you need security, the more armed guards you need, the more alarm systems you need, right? But if that's how you're thinking, then that's what you're attracting. So for me, I think and am freedom, right? And so if I say, hey, I choose to manifest this thing, be it money or whatever, into my life, it shows up. It's because I don't have any restrictions or obstacles. No. In all reality, yeah, we all have our obstacles. I got mine just as well. But the more we practice freedom, the more we can practice manifestation of our truths. Cool? All right, so you cannot be free if you live in the past, right? Egos, labels, hypersensitive, whatever, depressed. Everyone's got a label for something. When you eliminate the labels, you access freedom. So you live in the past, in the past experiences has already happened. It's not still happening. If it is, then you can change that. So anyway, therefore, we have no inner peace, and then we have no wealth, no worth, no growth, no motivation, no inspiration. Right? So if you're still living in the past, still attaching to other people, you got to make a choice to move on or stay the same. I can care less either way. I can only do what I can do for me. I can support others, share them, listen to them, reframe their work, but it's still theirs at the end of the day. They're responsible for it. All right. Hopefully that's enough. I told you we'd go a little extra on that today because I think it's important that you understand your core values. Right? And again, the root word to heart is core. Courage, encouragement, encourage the mind. All right. Definition, and we hear the word, well, it was confirmed on the blockchain. So what does that really mean? So when a transaction has been confirmed, it means it's just been approved by the network, and the network is the people, programmers, all that good stuff, and permanently then appended to the blockchain. So once it arrives at the blockchain, it had to go through some confirmations, right? Much like a hearing in Washington, they have to have a confirmation hearing. Well, the same thing's here, but we don't need anyone's authority. We just need the computer algorithms to match, and if it does, it gets confirmed, and it gets attached to the blockchain. Hopefully that helped you there, guys. Here. News of the day. Now, because I'm bringing this video out a day late, y'all, most all y'all know this, but the Ethereum 1559 is going out today. It is changing today. It's hard forking, which means Ethereum's getting an upgrade, basically. And the essence of all this, they're going to start implementing Ethereum being burned. And what being burned means is that when it goes for fees on the chain, then or the smart contracts, then it gets burnt. It no longer can be used. So the amount of Ethereum starts getting less and less and less over the years. And it's going to supposedly help with the GUI that used to be the gas fees. It's going to help with that. And you go if you want your if you want your transaction to go faster on the Ethereum network, that basically means that you need to give a tip to your person working the sending your transactions through. If that makes sense. So yeah, it's just supposed to make things easier, cheaper, and it's supposed to make Ethereum a little more valuable. And those are just a simple version. You can get deep dive into really what it does, but that can take a half hour on itself. So I'm just giving you the basic that it's supposed to make the fees cheaper. There's a burn mechanism put into it, so there's going to be less and less Ethereum, which again, supply and demand is going to make it more valuable. And we could probably see a good $8,000, $10,000 equivalent Ethereum pretty soon. All right, strategy of the day. Well, we talked about right action, so that right action is what you're going to do from your core, your heart. So taking action, that's the strategy of the day. You got to take action. You can dream all you want and talk all you want, but until you take action, right, it's just all talk. So you'll never be completely ready to take that action. I don't care how much studying you do, you just got to jump in, right? And that's where we talked about the core beliefs, right? Your core values. This is the belief in yourself. I have belief in no one thing or no one else, just myself. I don't know anyone else, right? We can say, oh, I know that person. No, you don't. You never lived every day in their life in their shoes and all their experiences and how their mind works and what they think of themselves. So we can never really truly know or believe in anyone else. At least I can't. And so I can believe in myself. Right? And when I believe in myself, that gives me worth, which allows me then the strength to take that action. Making sense? All right, so for me, truth, again, truth, freedom, all this stuff for me is the same thing. It just means I'm taking action or allowing freedom into my life, whatever that is again for me. Freedom is just taking the right actions, setting my boundaries, letting people know who I am, what I put up with, what I don't want to put up with. And these are all the core values. Again, when you are in crypto and you've been studying it, you're going to have to take some action. And again, for me, I don't put in more than I'm willing to lose, but if you got a little extra and you want to put in, and again, cost averaging and is our strategy. We just keep putting in something down every day. You don't have to study 1559, you don't have to study NFTs, you don't have to do anything. You just cost average, and crypto can be your savings account. And in 5 years from now, you'll be pretty happy you did. Again, no certainty, but the trend is our friend till it ends. So as long as this trend is getting bigger and bigger, and it's doubling pretty much every month. So by 5 years from now, there'll probably be about 4 billion people, 5 billion people in crypto. So if that gives you an idea of what the value of all these tokens are going up, and if you rely on yourself and believe in yourself and have value in yourself, then anything you touch will have value and increase in value because you're increasing in value. If you're an extension of your own value, then anything external of you will also be attracting value. Cool? Hopefully that helped. Oh, prices. Well, we can quickly go to coin market cap. First, we can look. For me, I think there's a head and shoulders developing here, and I think we're about to go down to about 33,000. So that may be a great buy-in for some of y'all. We got a shoulder right here for those who know trading. Shoulder, head, and a shoulder, and it will go down as I have marked here. If y'all can see that. The distance from the head to the neckline, and then I put that here, and it's going down, and that's around the 33.9 position. So I may have a ready buy-in or buy more crypto, and buying the dip is one of our strategies. I can have some money ready to go here and buying that dip. But the price of Bitcoin right now is 39.2 basically. Then you can look at the markets for the rest of it. But let's get back. So that's the prices for today. My crypto pick is again Ethereum because it's. We'll see if it goes up or down, but I think we'll have a little dip. But I think, and then it will go up pretty high. We can actually break 3,000, around 28,000. I think between 28, 29, 3,000. I think we can hit that. So that's a good buy-in for me at that point, at that price. Influencer of the day to sort of help you with some of these habits. Influencer Brandon Bouchard. He has, let me get that out of the way. One of the books I've read by him is High Performance Habits. So he helps break down if you have trouble breaking a habit. One, that's a thought that you're having trouble breaking the habit. You're probably making excuses or blaming others for why you can't do it, or just blaming external things. But again, that's just a thought. That it's hard, you can as easily have said, hey, this is going to be easy. Right? But part of the action, the right actions, is you go buy the book. I have no affiliation with him or getting any money off this, but I think it's a good book for beginners who are breaking free and into freedom. I think it's a good one to help you with some habits. Cool. All right, guys, that's about all I got for you today. I know we went a little long, but I definitely appreciate you hanging in there with me. Hopefully you got something out of it. If you did, leave me a comment. But definitely get on there and subscribe and like, and tell your friends, tell 5 friends, tell 10 friends. And let's get this channel out there if you like what you're seeing, and if it's helping you in any way, share that knowledge with other people. All right? And then always remember, stay casual. Keep it casual, however you want to say it. Just stay casual, people. All right?